It started with a sound. Knock, knock, knock. At first, I thought it was just the wind brushing against the trees in my backyard, but the sound was too rhythmic, too deliberate. It came from the exact spot where I buried the doll 2 weeks ago. I know it sounds insane, but I had to bury it. The thing had been in my family for generations, passed down from my grandmother, who used to whisper that it keeps us safe. But the older I got, the more I realized it didn't protect us. It watched us. The last straw was when I woke up one night and saw it sitting in a different position. Its head tilted slightly, its eyes fixed on me, even though I was sure I'd locked it in the attic. So I did what any sane person would. I wrapped it in an old cloth, drove far outside town, and buried it behind the old willow tree near the abandoned cemetery. I remember pressing the dirt down and whispering, "Stay there." But last night, I heard that knock again, 3 times, same pattern, same place. This morning, I went out to the backyard, heart pounding. The earth looked disturbed, not like something had been dug up, but like something underneath had pushed upward. There were small cracks in the dirt, almost like fingers had pressed from below. I felt sick. I started recording everything with my phone. I told myself I'd prove it was just an animal or my imagination. But when I replayed the footage later, I noticed something in the background. Right when the knocking stopped, there was a faint giggle, a child's laugh, soft, almost playful, the kind that shouldn't exist when you're standing alone in an empty yard. That night, I dreamt of the doll. It wasn't buried anymore. It was sitting in my old bedroom at my grandmother's house. In the dream, it was whispering something over and over again, a phrase I couldn't understand. When I woke up, I realized my window was open. The wind was cold, and there was dirt on the floor, fresh dirt. That was the moment I knew I had to dig it up. I needed to end whatever this was. So the next evening, I grabbed a shovel and a flashlight and went back to the tree. The ground was soft, like something had already been there. I dug fast, my hands shaking, breathing, turning shallow. When the shovel hit wood, I froze. The sound was hollow, but it wasn't the wooden box I'd buried it in. It was smaller. When I brushed the dirt away, I saw it. The doll, perfectly clean, like it had never been buried at all. Its porcelain face was cracked slightly near the mouth, and that's when I saw it. The crack was moving, slowly widening like a smile. I dropped the flashlight, stumbled backward, and the knocking began again, not from below this time, but from behind me. I turned around. There was another doll, smaller, its eyes glowing faintly under the flashlight's flicker. I ran. I didn't look back until I reached my car. My heart wouldn't stop pounding as I drove home. But when I parked, something made me look in the rearview mirror. There, sitting in the back seat, was the original doll. Dirt smeared across its dress, its head tilted toward me, smiling wider than before. I burned it that night. I poured gasoline, lit a match, and watched until it turned to ash. I thought it was finally over, but 2 days later, when I checked my backyard security footage, I froze. At 3:14 a.m., the camera caught movement near the old willow tree. A shape was crawling out of the ground, small, pale, and wearing the same burnt blue dress. Now every night I hear the same knocking again, 3 times, sometimes from the ground, sometimes from the walls, sometimes from under my bed. I haven't slept in days, and tonight I swear I heard a tiny whisper coming from the hallway, the same phrase from my dream. I still can't understand it completely, but I think It's saying my name. What do you think I should do now? Should I dig it up again or let it keep knocking?